If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns season has turned into a storm of frustration, disappointment, and uncertainty. And at the center of that storm sits a young quarterback who hasn't even been given the chance to prove himself. Once again, the Browns fell short on Sunday, losing their fifth game in the last 6 outings, a 27-20 defeat to the New York Jets that left fans fuming and the locker room eerily quiet. The loss dropped Cleveland to 2-7 on the season, a mark that feels more like a wound than a record. The once promising year has spiraled into confusion and criticism, especially directed at head coach Kevin Stefanski, whose decisions at quarterback continue to spark outrage among fans and analysts alike. On paper, the Browns should not be this bad. Their defense, while inconsistent, has flashes of competence. Their offensive line has battled through injuries, but still has potential. The problem, the glaring, screaming issue, is under center. And that's where the real controversy brews. Stefanski continues to back rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel, the former Oregon standout who has been serviceable but far from dynamic. Gabriel's numbers paint a bleak picture. 869 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, all while completing just 58.6% of his throws. These aren't disastrous stats for a rookie, but they're certainly not the numbers that ignite hope in a fan base starving for relevance. The Browns rank 31st in total offense, a testament to how stagnant and predictable this team has become. Drives stall. Third downs vanish. Big plays are almost mythical, and as losses pile up, the calls for change grow louder. Enter Shedeur Sanders, the 5th-round pick out of Colorado who has become something of a folk hero in Cleveland despite never taking a meaningful snap in the NFL. The son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion "Primetime" Sanders, Shedeur arrived with buzz, swagger, and an aura that fans desperately wanted to see on the field. His college tape showed poise, precision, and a calm under pressure that reminded many of young franchise quarterbacks who had rewritten their team's histories. In contrast to Gabriel's rigid, mechanical approach, Sanders plays with flair and confidence. He's a natural storyteller on the field, the kind of player who can make something out of nothing, and that's exactly what the Browns' offense needs right now. But Stefanski, ever the pragmatist, isn't biting. When pressed by reporters on Monday about whether Sanders might see playing time soon, the coach dodged, deflected, and ultimately dismissed the speculation. "I don't think it's fair to speculate," he said. "We're committed to getting better as an offense." Dillon is certainly committing to improving every which way he can, all the while all of our players, young players, are developing and working so hard behind the scenes to make sure that they're getting better on a daily basis. The words were careful, diplomatic, and completely unsatisfying to a fan base that's done being patient. The reaction across social media was immediate and unforgiving. Browns fans have been through decades of quarterback purgatory, from the heartbreak of Johnny Manziel's chaos to the fleeting promise of Baker Mayfield's 2020 surge. Every few years, a new name rises, a new hope takes root, and every time, it ends the same way. Disappointment, confusion, and a head coach insisting that we're close. Fans don't want to be close anymore. They want a spark. They want Shedeur. And it's not hard to understand why. Sanders carries the aura of something different. He's been trained by one of the most confident and competitive figures the game has ever seen. He's grown up under bright lights, and his mental toughness is something even his critics can't deny. At Colorado, he faced relentless pressure, an underperforming offensive line, and national scrutiny every single week. Through it all, he maintained composure and leadership. That's the kind of DNA Cleveland has been missing. Still, Stefanski insists on staying the course with Gabriel, a decision that seems rooted in fear rather than strategy. Perhaps he doesn't want to throw Sanders into a losing environment too early. Perhaps he believes that switching quarterbacks midseason would be a signal of desperation. Or maybe, deep down, he simply doesn't believe Sanders is ready. But in the NFL, ready is often a mirage. Rarely is any rookie quarterback truly ready until they've been thrown into the fire. Fans see what's happening in places like Houston, where C.J. Stroud turned skepticism into stardom, or in Indianapolis, where Anthony Richardson has already shown flashes of brilliance. They see what youth and confidence can do. And they look at Cleveland, a franchise seemingly allergic to boldness, and wonder why the Browns always seem to play it safe at the wrong time. What makes the situation even more maddening is the Browns' upcoming schedule. This Sunday, they face Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, a team riding a 3-game winning streak and a quarterback playing at an MVP level. Baltimore's defense is aggressive, opportunistic, and punishing. It's the kind of game where creativity and adaptability will be required just to stay competitive. Gabriel, for all his effort, doesn't bring that dynamic element. He's steady, sure, but steady doesn't win you games against elite teams. Sanders, with his mobility and improvisational instincts, might be exactly the kind of player who could extend drives and inject energy into an offense that's been flatlining for weeks. The whispers around the organization tell a different story than the one Stefanski presents in press conferences. There are rumblings that some assistant coaches, and even a few veterans in the locker room, believe Sanders should already be seeing snaps. Players know when something isn't working. They feel the rhythm of a team just as much as the fans do. And when the energy around a quarterback starts to fade, it affects everyone, from the offensive line to the receivers to the defense that knows it has to play perfectly just to keep the game within reach. Cleveland's sideline has looked drained in recent weeks, and that's a dangerous sign. The irony of it all is that this Browns team was built to compete now. The roster isn't in rebuild mode. It's supposed to be in the middle of a resurgence. The defense has cornerstone pieces. The offense, while struggling, has talent. What it lacks is identity. And quarterbacks, more than anyone else, give a team identity. Gabriel's safe, methodical play style has stripped the Browns of any offensive personality. Sanders, on the other hand, represents risk, yes, but also excitement. And excitement is contagious. The longer Stefanski waits, the louder the calls will get. Talk radio in Cleveland is already ablaze with takes, and every segment seems to end with the same refrain, "Play Shadur." It's become a movement of sorts, a rallying cry for a fan base tired of mediocrity. Every incomplete pass, every stalled drive, every 3-and-out adds fuel to the fire. And at some point, even the most stubborn coach has to acknowledge that the status quo isn't working. When a team sits at 2-7, it's not about protecting the rookie's confidence anymore. It's about finding something, anything, that works. There's also the bigger picture to consider. Shadur Sanders isn't just another quarterback prospect. He's a name, a brand, a potential face of the franchise if things go right. The Browns, whether they admit it or not, are sitting on a marketing goldmine. A successful Shadur run would bring national attention back to Cleveland in a way the franchise hasn't seen since its brief Baker Mayfield renaissance. It would make the Browns relevant again, not as a punchline, but as a story worth watching. And that's something the NFL itself would love to see. Of course, potential doesn't guarantee results. For every rookie who blossoms, there's another who wilts under the pressure. But you don't find out by keeping him on the bench. You find out by letting him take the field, letting him make mistakes, and seeing how he responds. That's how teams grow, and that's how quarterbacks evolve. Right now, the Browns are learning nothing. Gabriel's ceiling seems low, the offense is predictable, and the losses keep coming. The definition of insanity, as they say, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. As the Browns prepare to face the Ravens, fans can't help but wonder if this is the week things finally change. Maybe Stefanski will surprise everyone. Maybe Sanders will jog onto the field, helmet buckled, eyes locked in, ready to turn chaos into something beautiful. Maybe the Browns will finally find the heartbeat they've been missing. Or maybe it'll be another Sunday of frustration, another reminder that in Cleveland, hope always seems to be just out of reach. Either way, one thing is certain, the clock is ticking. Stefanski's seat is getting warmer, the locker room's patience is thinning, and the fans, those long-suffering, loyal believers, are starting to lose faith. In the NFL, faith is fragile. You either deliver or you're replaced. And as long as Shadur Sanders remains on the sideline, the story of the Browns' 2025 season will be one of what-ifs and missed chances. The question isn't just when Sanders will play, it's whether Stefanski will still be around when he finally does. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Big news might be brewing in Cleveland, and fans of the Browns could be in for a wild ride as whispers around the league suggest that Tyler Boyd, yes, The versatile wide receiver we've all seen make plays from the slot to the outside might be the latest addition to Cleveland's roster. The chatter is picking up momentum, with insiders hinting that the move isn't just a simple signing. There's a strategic angle here that could shake up the Browns' offensive dynamics in ways fans are only beginning to speculate about. Boyd has long been recognized for his route-running precision, reliable hands, and ability to find soft spots in coverage. But what makes this potential signing so tantalizing isn't just his ability to make the routine plays. It's the idea that he could serve as a security blanket for the quarterback, a player who can reliably operate between the zones, reading defenses, and giving the QB a consistent target in critical moments. The Browns have had their fair share of ups and downs in the passing game, and Boyd's presence could be the stabilizing factor they've been chasing for seasons. Sources close to the team are murmuring about how Boyd's football IQ aligns perfectly with Cleveland's offensive philosophy. He isn't just fast or strong. He has a knack for understanding defensive schemes before they fully unfold, which allows him to find openings that less experienced receivers might miss. Imagine a player who can slip into soft coverage zones, adjust on the fly, and make clutch catches that turn third-and-long situations into first downs. That's exactly the profile Cleveland might be hunting for. And if the Boyd rumors hold water, it's a signal that the front office is serious about bolstering their passing attack in very specific ways. The Browns have been eyeing players who can provide immediate impact rather than developmental projects, and Boyd's track record makes him an ideal candidate. His veteran presence could also lift younger receivers on the roster, offering guidance and stability in a group that has struggled with consistency in the passing game. The narrative being whispered in locker rooms and media circles is that Boyd is more than just a receiver. He's a tactical tool, a chess piece in a game where every mismatch counts. Interestingly, the timing of Boyd's rumored availability couldn't be more compelling. The Browns, who have wrestled with offensive line injuries and inconsistencies at quarterback protection schemes, could use a player who not only catches the ball, but also understands spacing, timing, and how to operate in high-pressure situations. The idea of him being a security blanket isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a tactical consideration. Quarterbacks thrive when they know a reliable option will be in the right place at the right time, and Boyd's ability to read coverages and adjust his routes accordingly has earned him a reputation in league circles as one of those safe hands receivers who can be trusted in crunch time. Rumors hint that this could redefine how Cleveland approaches third-down conversions, red zone plays, and even certain 2-minute drills where execution under pressure is paramount. For fans imagining the possibilities, this could mean more consistent drives, fewer stalled possessions, and a QB who gains confidence knowing he has someone like Boyd working the spaces between defenders. The excitement around Boyd isn't limited to the purely technical aspects of football. His personality, professionalism, and leadership are reportedly just as valued. Inside sources suggest that his locker room presence has historically been calming yet motivating, the kind of veteran influence that can stabilize a team when emotions run high or stakes are elevated. There's speculation that this signing, or potential signing, could also signal a shift in how the Browns approach free agency. Instead of going after headline-grabbing names or high-risk gambles, the whispers indicate they might be prioritizing intelligent, high-efficiency players who can make immediate, tangible impacts on the field. Boyd fits that mold perfectly. Someone whose numbers might not always dominate the highlight reels, but whose contribution is undeniable when analyzing game flow, defensive reactions, and QB comfort levels. Analysts are already spinning scenarios where Boyd's inclusion allows for more creative play calling, the ability to stretch the field horizontally and vertically, and even opens up mismatches in ways that could catch opponents off guard. Fans are naturally buzzing with speculation, and social media is starting to feel the ripple effects of these rumors. Could Boyd's potential arrival in Cleveland mark a turning point for a team that has flirted with playoff contention but hasn't quite sealed the deal in recent seasons? Observers point to his history of clutch performances and adaptability as key elements that might give the Browns the edge they've been missing in tight games. The notion is that with Boyd roaming between the zones, defenders have to make choices faster than usual, which can create opportunities not just for him, but for other offensive weapons as well. Rumor mills hint that coaches are already envisioning plays that leverage Boyd's intelligence, his speed and short area routes, and his uncanny ability to exploit even the smallest lapses in coverage. Essentially, it's not just about adding another receiver. It's about adding a cerebral, reliable piece to a puzzle that has shown flashes of brilliance but needed refinement. And while none of this has been officially confirmed, the murmurs keep gaining traction. Some insiders suggest that contract negotiations are underway, with terms designed to reward immediate production while offering flexibility to the team. Boyd's camp, meanwhile, is reportedly intrigued by the chance to be a pivotal figure in Cleveland's offensive scheme rather than a complementary piece elsewhere. The alignment of interests, the Browns needing a reliable, intelligent receiver, and Boyd seeking a role where he can maximize his skill set, adds fuel to the speculation. For the city, it's the kind of rumor that sparks debates in bars, living rooms, and online forums. Will this signing finally give the Browns the passing stability they've long desired? Could Boyd become the unsung hero of a team on the verge of breaking through? Every indicator, from his past performances to the way league insiders are talking, points to the fact that this could be one of the smarter moves Cleveland has made in recent memory, even if it isn't flashy or dramatic in the traditional sense. At this stage, the story is still unfolding and nothing is set in stone, but the narrative is rich with potential. Imagine the Browns lining up with Boyd reading the zones, creating separation, catching passes in stride, and giving the quarterback the confidence to trust his reads. Consider the ripple effect this might have: more aggressive play calling, better third down efficiency, and a tighter, more cohesive passing game. The idea that Boyd could serve as a cornerstone, or at least a key stabilizing factor, has media insiders speculating on just how far Cleveland might go with this infusion of intelligence, experience, and reliability. If the rumors crystallize into reality, Boyd's arrival could mark a subtle but powerful shift in the Browns' identity, a team that doesn't just rely on raw talent, but on players who think, adjust, and deliver consistently. And for a franchise that has felt the highs and lows of promise and frustration over the years, Boyd's presence could be exactly the kind of quiet yet impactful boost they need to finally start converting potential into tangible success on the field. In the end, whether the deal goes through or remains tantalizing speculation, Tyler Boyd's name is one that will continue to dominate conversations about Cleveland's offseason plans. The whispers aren't just about a single player. They're about a philosophy, a vision for how the Browns might stabilize their offense and give their quarterback the confidence and protection he deserves. Every analyst, fan, and insider seems to agree on one thing. If Boyd lands in Cleveland, it's not merely a signing, it's a statement. A statement that the Browns are thinking strategically, valuing intelligence, and building a roster designed to execute under pressure. The intrigue is irresistible, the scenarios endlessly debatable, and for now, the rumor has already done its job. It's put Cleveland, Tyler Boyd, and the future of the Browns offense firmly in the spotlight, leaving fans, pundits, and opponents alike to wonder just how much impact one smart, reliable receiver can have in the zones where the game's most critical plays are made. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!